when I was probably, I want to say I was probably 12 or 13, there was this special that came on. And I remember the guy was, his identity was covered up and he talked about the aliens. And I remember he said, like, what I never forgot is I think he said their favorite food or snack was strawberry ice cream or something like that.
Oh, I remember that.
I think, but that never left my mind. So, um, and I watched it probably, I don't know, maybe I became, there was something about it. It really just kind of hit home with me. Right. And I remember going to bed that night and I slept under my bed because I kept looking out at the street light. Right. 'Cause it had really, but it was this, I looked at after that getting the information, I looked at space differently
Right.
as a kid. You don't understand everything, but then years
Right.
go by, life goes by, right? And um, I'm going to share this with you. So I am in Tampa, Florida. I'm in the WWE, and I had a big feud with Big Show, and we did something never done on TV before. He used the announce desk table to hit me with it. And yeah,
Nice.
and and when he did, it missed the mark. Nobody's fault. We were in the heat of the battle, and it was supposed to hit me up on my shoulders, and it hit me in my lower back, right above my tailbone, which is, as a doctor, you know, is not a good place for blunt
Right.
force trauma, right?
Right.
And my sciatic was done. I could barely. I walk around at 7.5 feet tall, and I was probably walking around about 6'2". Like I was just in a lot of pain, and they were talking maybe surgery and stuff, and it was in fact impacting the way I lifted, and it was impacting the way I worked, and so
Right.
I had some general concerns. And I trained with uh, Rob at Hard Knock South, which was where Cena trains, and he's a world class trainer. So we're doing all kinds of. He's like on the state of the art. Like he trains Olympic athletes, so we're trying to get the kinks out, and we're trying to work through the injuries or whatever. So lo and behold, me and my buddies go out for beers or whatever. It's probably about 1, 2 in the morning, and I'm coming back to my apartment or townhouse. And as I stepped out of my truck, I had the same feeling I had as a child, and I'm a big dude, and I'm not afraid of any puny human. And I just was looking at the top, for some reason, the top of the house, and I was staring there, almost like a fight or flight moment for me.
Mm.
And I couldn't understand why my hair was up in my arms. I was like literally anticipating like I felt like I was being watched. So I'm looking to see where it's coming from. And I'm thinking, man, I'm just tripping. I literally said to myself, man, you tripping. And I went into the house. I went upstairs, normal thing. I go to bed. And what I understood as a dream sequence
Mm-hmm.
was one of the most, and I call it a dream. But basically, what had happened was I laid down in bed, and within a few minutes, it wasn't like falling to sleep. It was this weird movement of like you're looking, and all of a sudden, it's almost like there's an out of body experience. I don't. I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. And the next thing I know, I'm on a table,
Mm-hmm.
and there's this film that's trying to hold, and I'm my strength, and I keep pushing everything off me, and it's like, and I bench about 500 pounds. I'm a big, strong dude, and I'm physically pushing this stuff. And there's these, all I could really see was eyes. And again, I think of it as a dream, but I remember these big, they were black, reflective, but I didn't feel it was like a tiger trying to bite. It was just, I was confused, and my emotions was getting, and I was just pushing back, and every time. And then this hand comes and just puts his hand on my shoulder, and as I pushed back, and I remember I was yelling as loud as I could, but there was no sound coming out of me. It was the most helpless I had ever felt in my life,
Mm-hmm.
but I still was able to like push. Then it was almost a calming, like we're not going to hurt you. We want
Mm-hmm.
to help. It was not like that, not a communication like a conversation, but there was this is not, you were safe, it's okay. And once
Right.
I relaxed, I was able to, I no longer felt the film like over my, it was like you had a plastic bag sucked in your mouth. That's probably the best way I could describe this panic and the sweat. And then all of a sudden it was just calm, and he was feeling over my like abdomen area with his hands, and then the table kind of moved to my back, and he went down to where my back was and kind of went up, and then all of a sudden I just powered out as best I could, and I felt myself pushing the film, and then it was just done. Now, when I woke up, I was in my bed, but it was like somebody dumped 50 gallons of water. It was the most sweat I had ever had, and I woke up screaming like I was in the middle of a fight, like a yell. And I said, wow, I had the craziest dream last night. It felt so real. I went to train in the morning. Now, the day before, I was bent over and we were doing maybe $125 on the thing, like no heavy weights, trying to learn how to lift again and work on the swelling and doing the cups and electrolysis and ice and heat. I came in, and then when I walked in, I had done something I had never done. I hit my head on the door. I had not hit my head on the door in a long time because I was always hunched over.
Right. Yeah.
And my trainer looked at me. He's like, "Oh, you're standing good today." And I hadn't noticed. And I was like, "I am." And I went from, at that time, because I had been hurt for so long, all my strength numbers had went down considerably. And I was dealing with a little depression because I went from benching, really high, 400 and 500 pounds, to like I'm down to like 220, barely getting it up because my back is so tight and everything hurts.
Right.
So just messing around that day, I was just weird. I think everyone else was deadlifting, and we started, and then he was like, "Let's put another on. Let's put another." It was almost like unbreakable. Like where I went from being hurt to being, I PR'd that month. I PR'd everything.
Yeah.
I like felt like $1,000,000. Like I was completely, and the swelling in the back, they were talking about drilling a hole in my back to alleviate the pressure. And my trainer was like, the swelling's gone. So then I was like, I have a choice. I'm going to sound like I'm fucking batshit crazy. And I just told my trainer, look, I had the crate, because he's a science guy. He's a numbers guy. He's like Spock. He has no emotion. He doesn't get caught up. It's very hard to get him caught up in anything. And he could not explain the transformation that basically
I can. I can.
That would be great. That would be great. I have always said it was a dream, but I posed to him. I said, look, either it's real and they fixed my back, or I had the craziest dream and I just willpowered it. But either way, so if you could explain that, and like I said, I have never told that story, but that is something that has changed the course of my life physically, probably added another 5 years onto my lifting and wrestling career.
Sure. Well, for sure, we've had dozens of experiences like that with our team members.
Okay.
If you look at the movie Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, it's on Amazon Prime and Tubi.
Oh, I've seen it.
Well, there's a story in there where we were up in the wilderness of Arizona, and we made contact, and an ET came in. We have a photograph of it. It's in the movie. And you can put it up and post it on this. And there was a man right across from me. There was a circle of about 30 of us. We're in a remote area. And this ET, the David Marconi, who wrote Enemy of the State with Gene Hackman and Will Smith, he was there, and a great photographer, and he took a picture of this ET. But that man had contact with this ET, big triangular shaped head, very unusual. And the next morning he woke up, because at the very end of this, he just thought and sent a message to this ET, and it was a physical ET. We heard it walking around, and he said, if you could do something about my hearing, because since middle school, he had almost complete hearing loss, and he had $5,000 hearing aids. He woke up the next morning, 100% normal hearing. We had a man with intractable chronic back problems, had the same thing happen that you did. Now, the experience of that dreamlike state, the hypnagogic state, it's called, where you're kind of going between waking and sleep, that is an area that's very trans-dimensional.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you like what you just saw, don't stop there. You can catch the full conversations right here, only on Planet Tyrus. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss what's next. And you don't want to miss what's next. I'm telling you, bad things will happen. Oh, I'm just playing. Nothing bad's going to happen, but I won't be your friend.